items that are on the agenda, public comment has been satisfied. However, you will have up to 1 minute for general public comment. So what we would ask is that you please wait until you hear the name that you signed up under called aloud, and then you can line up on your left-hand side of the council chambers, and then you will get 1 minute for general public comment. So as soon as you get to the podium, you can begin with your general public.
Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
What's up, dirty dog?
Well, guys, there we have it. An hour and 40 minutes of fucking knee bending to every fucking different person there is on this earth so we can get all the fucking votes. And now we get to general public comment, and after an hour and 45 fucking minutes, you each only get 1 minute because everything else has been satisfied, so they say. So you get your 1 minute. Let's listen to the dog eater.
Si requiere un intérprete en español, por favor asegúrense de pausar después de cada frase o dos para darle al intérprete la oportunidad de traducir.
Hopefully Mr. Herman,
worry,
Mr.
we will
Sachs,
pause your
Mr.
time while the
Spindler,
interpreters are
all of them are
interpreting,
in there tonight.
so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else. Thank you.
Y no se preocupen, les pausaremos el tiempo mientras el intérprete está hablando, entonces recibirán la misma cantidad de tiempo que las otras personas. Gracias.
Additionally, if you have requested an accommodation under the ADA with the clerk's office, or if you would like to request an accommodation during the public speaking time, please raise your hand and get the attention of the sergeant.
Still can't figure out how to use a comb. He figured out how to pass the bar, but he couldn't figure out how to use a comb.
So with that,
any day, not one day
start
does he
calling
come in here with his
names,
fucking
again,
hair
once you
comb.
hear your name called,
Not
you
one
can
day,
line up
and
in
he's a
any
fucking
order
city attorney.
At your left-hand side of the council chambers. The order in which the names are called is randomly generated.
What's up, Mello?
I will begin by calling the following names: Kangxi, Ariana, Sergeant Maurice, Alexandria, Bohr, Sergeant Gunny, Murillo Sermino, and Cynthia.
Gunny. Isn't that Clint Eastwood's and Sergeant Gunny? Yeah, that was from fucking, what was that movie? Where he was Gunnery Sergeant. I forget the name.
And as we wait for the people to get to the podium, if it's your first time here, again, it'll just be sort of a loop. So once you're finished with providing public comment, you can exit to your right. So you'll enter from your left,
Heartbreak Ridge.
exit
That's
the
the
podium
name.
area from
Heartbreak
your
Ridge.
right-hand side. Good morning. You have 1
Yeah,
minute.
there you go, Papa.
morning.
Got it right before you said it.
I am Mario Zermino. Thank you, City Council, for your attention. I have been witness and victim of LAPD's violent practices and false charges. I have been shot at with less than lethals and arrested. My citation states that I was arrested from a riot and was unsafe to release at scene.
That's it.
I have never been in a riot. We were lawfully participating in our First Amendment rights. LAPD Chief McDonald is either
LA,
unaware of
not
the illegal
LA.
tactics his officers are using
LA.
against citizens, or he is turning a blind eye. Either way, he is unfit for this position. I urge you to serve the well-being of your constituents and vote a suitable replacement that will uphold the laws of this great city. Thank you again.
L.A. It's not L.A. It's
Next
L.A.
speaker.
There's an L and then there's an A. It's not A-L-A.
Go ahead, you
That
have
would
1
be
minute.
A-L-A. L-A.
Good morning, council members. While Los Angeles families are stretching $80,000 a year across nearly 3 people, this council itself pays $330,000 each, plus benefits, to represent us. And somehow you still can't represent a protest without police barricades beating us to the location. You call this a sanctuary city, but the only people who seem safe here are the ones that are collecting a $250,000 paycheck. The rest of us are paying rent the size of your car allowances. The rest of us are being kettled and beaten and silenced for speaking out. Man, I must have picked the wrong profession.
Yeah,
Maybe instead of a $3.3 billion police budget, you guys should be public servants and serve with integrity, which is what none of you have at this moment. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Sunny from CSUN, Bob M., Jennifer Kozak, Alex A., and Cadet Scarlett.
Sonny from
Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Alexandria.
Who's Sunny
I'm a
from
resident of
CISA?
Los Angeles, an active community
Ray
member,
Pander's up
behavioral
there.
therapist, and more recently, an activist, investigative journalist, and terrified citizen of the United States.
So terrified.
Since June,
Well,
I have
little
participated
victim.
in protest demonstrations,
Always a
mutual
victim.
aid actions,
Always.
rapid response networks, fundraising efforts,
Always.
and so much more. Since June, I have watched as the community members fight harder for our rights than our elected officials do. I have watched the federal government slowly take over our city and not only inflict fear into our communities, but inflict fear into our local governments and every single one of you as well. In July, I was brutally arrested and detained by DHS.
Brutally
and just
arrested.
2 weeks ago, I won my federal trial against them.
Brutally
I have heard from
arrested.
members of this council that we are doing everything that we can, and I'm here to tell you that it is nowhere near enough. There are over 20 protesters facing and being indicted for similar charges, all based on lies. We need your help. And every single week, we
Of course
have
you
people
do.
come up here.
You always
and
need
express
somebody's
that
help.
need
Your time is
Because you
expired.
can't get
Next
nothing
speaker,
done
I-
yourself.
so,
You
to be
always
clear,
need some
we
help.
have to give
Because you're
everybody
always the victim.
The same amount of time. And so if you have additional public
course
comments that
you
you would
need
like
help.
to make, or if we were unable to hear your comment today, you can provide written public comment at LACouncilComment.com.
You and the rest of you
Again,
Democrat
that's
dummies always need help.
LACouncilComment.com.
I need
You
some
can find it
more.
at the
Give me
top of
more.
every agenda,
Give me more.
or
I
you can
need
do a
more
quick Google
crumbs.
search,
I
and
was
it should be one of the
brutally
first things that
arrested.
comes up. Good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
About 20 years ago, I got involved with a little group that was trying to save a historic building in Pasadena. After doing a little research, I discovered that there was massive property and tax fraud going on, really obvious. So of course I reported it to the police. But what happened is that I was intimidated by goons while the police deliberately looked the other way. So since I could do nothing, I did nothing. Now, 20 years later, I decided to give it another shot. The police are still looking the other way, but what's interesting is that I'm no longer being effectively intimidated. Some public official is going to save himself by pressing for a military-level investigation of police misconduct, and I don't see why that shouldn't be you rather than someone on the Arcadia or Burbank City Council or some council in another state. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Mary, Katie LaFoon, Sharon Houston, Kitty Hollerith, Olivia Irene Fitzsimmons, and Katie LaFoon. Thank you.
Ooh,
Good morning. You have
Katie
1 minute.
Lahoud
Go ahead.
twice.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Kozak. On Saturday, October 18th, myself, my
mean the
partner, and our
randomizer
three
picked the
children
same
participated
name
in the
twice?
No Kings protest at the MDC to express our constitutionally protected views and feelings about the current administration leading this country into fascism. At no point in time did any member of our family feel unsafe in this group of peaceful protesters during the 4 hours we were there. If I thought for even a second that our children were in any danger, I would have immediately removed them from the situation.
You brought your
Our children
kids.
are ages 9, 11, and 15. They're the future generation of this country. Our children were there to use their voices. They held up their homemade cardboard signs in protest just like everybody else. They sang, they danced, more than welcomed by every member of this community. Around 7:30, LAPD unlawfully ordered the dispersal of this peaceful crowd. Projectiles were then fired, horse-mounted officers beating protesters with sticks, batons used. Clear orders were not given. We were not given reasonable time to comply. We were most definitely not given a clear and unobstructed exit path.
You are an unfit mother. Your children will be placed in the custody of Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. Fuck you.
Good morning.
I'm
You have 1
eating.
minute.
You are an
Hi, I'm Katie
unfit
LaFoon.
mother.
I'm here to ask you to remove Jim McDonnell from Chief of LAPD.
They just hired
We've heard
that
the
knee
mayor
bender.
Of the city tell the nation
He's a
and
knee
LA
bender, just like you.
that
What
it
do you
is not
want?
and will not cooperate with ICE, and it has encouraged us to stand up to ICE.
He's a knee-bending
to peacefully
Southie.
document and protect our neighbors, which we have done. And the LAPD, under the leadership of Jim McDonnell, is either operating under direct orders to protect and support ICE, to punish dissenters, going against the public wishes of the mayor, or LAPD is operating independently of McDonnell or Mayor Bass, because you cannot change the facts that LAPD is helping ICE in targeting protesters. There are hundreds of videos to prove this. They are not protecting peaceful protesters. They are quelling dissent, arresting organizers who get in their way, and doing whatever they can to clear the roads for ICE, to kidnap our community members. This isn't about public safety. This is about fear. LAPDs knows that they are being filmed. They're breaking the law, and they're doing it anyway. We need your help. A 2/3 vote can remove Jim McDonald. We are here.
Speaker, your time has expired.
I'm
Next
good,
speaker.
Duran. Didn't you hear about the guy who had $3 million just stole from him on XRP?
Speaker,
Good.
Speaker, you are now disrupting this meeting.
I'd spend my
This is
whole
your
life
first
trying
and
to
only
find that
formal
hacker
warning.
and take
Again,
care of him.
we have to give everybody the same amount of time. And so I would ask that you please vacate the podium as soon as your time is up. Again, if you'd like
And
to
no
provide
clapping.
additional
Right?
comment.
What happened to the clapping?
Okay, so I believe the woman in the, hold on. So the woman who's yelling out, this is your first and only
Unhinged
formal
white
warning.
liberal,
Please do not disrupt
throw
other
her out of
public
the room.
speakers. They did not interrupt you.
You mentally ill
Mr.
liberal
President,
bitch.
the woman
Get
in
her
the
outta
jean
here.
jacket has been warned already and is eligible
All right.
to move if you would like.
And listen, this is what I'll ask of folks in the gallery. We're going to lose quorum shortly after 10 minutes after the hour. We are. So we can spend our time. This is your second warning. So we can spend our time going back and forth with you and giving warnings. All right. This woman in the black shirt, Sergeant, she's removed subject to Rule 12.
So now their own voter base is eating them
So
alive.
we can spend our time going back and forth with people yelling,
And
or
now
we
we
can hear
get
from
no
speakers.
time.
It's completely up to you guys.
Now the 20, 30 minutes that you were supposed to get, you won't even get that now. Now we'll just get an hour and 45 minutes of knee bending to all the little different groups to make them feel so special. Come on in here and get your participation award. Their own voter base, eating them alive. The rats are eating the rats. Rats are eating the rats.
Okay, so the woman who's yelling out, I believe she's in a gray hoodie. This is your first and formal warning. And the woman who's holding up the phone currently on the right-hand side of the council chambers, again, we have to give everybody the same amount of time. If
No
you've been at
quorum
these
means
meetings
no meeting,
before,
QWERTY, and they're done.
People come in and say a lot of things that you might or might disagree with or that might be offensive, but we have to give everybody the same amount of time. So by enforcing
being
the rules,
I think
we're
they're
not trying
offended
to
by
restrict
you and
your
not by
ability
what anybody
to
had said
provide
today.
your opinions, but we have to do it equally. So I would ask,
They're offended by
please,
you and your
the
uncombed
person
hair.
at the podium now has been waiting patiently. Okay, so
It's funny. If that was Spindler or Herman, they would have got thrown out by now. But
Can we get
because
eyes?
it's their Palestinian-loving voter base, they get to stay somehow.
let's attempt this again. I'm
The
sorry,
little
just one
DEI
minute, go ahead.
hires get to
This
stay.
meeting was real boring till about now.
It is boring
I just
every
wanted
day.
to say that I know that the state did not sign up with DHS for 287G, which is, which they get money from the DHS to train their officers. I looked it up. But on
Palestinian
June
puppets
24th,
back
I believe
there.
it was, when Andrea Velez was kidnapped on Main and 9th, LAPD formed a circle around the ICE agents and prevented her from getting free from this literal kidnapping. It was
Good.
horrifying to watch.
Fantastic.
So I guess my request is, I just want to know the truth so that we can make decisions to protect ourselves.
Ma'am, you're
and know
nobody,
if there really
so
is a
sit down.
directive for LAPD to assist ICE. My issue is with the lack of transparency because we can't make decisions for our own safety if we don't know the truth. Thank you.
Ma'am, you need to sit down because you're nobody, and just because you came and demanded shit doesn't mean you get it. So please,
Before the next
sit your
speaker
dumb ass down.
begins, I would like to call up John Mattingly, Jenny L.
Hey, Cookie
X,
Monster.
and Rob Kwan.
Cookies.
The fucking Cookie
on?
Monster's
Okay.
there.
1 minute, go ahead.
I have a Cookie Monster.
I want Jim McDonald removed. Period. He has caused so much danger to everybody, and I'm hoping that you're paying attention, Mr. Marquise, while you laughing. And I don't appreciate you arresting my sister Taylor when she was giving her freedom of speech in August. So like I said, Jim McDonald needs to get removed because he has his LAPD ICE working for basically Trump and attacking us. And when they say, oh, it's time for dispersal, they're already shooting tear gas before we can even get time to get to disperse. So again, Jim McDonald needs to be removed. Marquise, you needs to get removed because you don't listen to the people. And how could you arrest your own people for freedom of speech in this office? You did it in August. Her name is Taylor.
Ooh.
So I'm saying y'all need to remove Jim McDonald, get a better leader instead of a leader that's working for Trump rules instead of for the people's rules and protecting protesters. Because we're fighting for our rights, period.
Next speaker.
Do you have cookies?
Other way, ma'am. I know you're not smart enough to figure out your left from your right. You didn't see the other 12 people do it before you.
And you do limit public speaking. Yes, quickly. Item 5 has been set aside. $750,000. Where's she at? The councilwoman. She questioned. Mr. McCosker questioned where that money was coming from. So thank you. I would like to submit more pictures for the fire that will happen in Porter Ranch. You guys are going to spend $750,000 to defend the Palisade area. Here is a future fire, and you folks won't do nothing. Why is it that you folks know, and they found out who started it? It was a cigarette that started it.
Damn
cigarette. How many
cigarette.
cigarettes have I brought to you and showed you what they're doing up there? And all you have to do is remove or reinstate the restricted parking on that one little section. But no, you don't do it. And you continue, sir, the same restriction on public speaking that Miss Martinez
Speaker,
started.
your time has expired. Next speaker.
There you go, great panderer.
You've already received
You
your
keep
first...
telling them how good and awesome
Mr.
and fucking
Candido,
honorable
you've
they
already
are.
received your
That's
first
what you
warning.
get.
We do not
Shut
wanna
them
have
down
to
and
have
get
you
them the
removed.
fuck out of
You
here.
can provide the exhibits to
Thank you.
the
Come again.
handouts to the sergeants if you'd like. Good afternoon.
Rob Kwan, is he going to
Come on,
talk shit
Mr.
about the
Candido,
Lakers?
you're taking up Mr. Kwan's time.
Let's see if Kwan
He's
takes it.
He's a
It's
good
okay.
guy. We want to
It's
hear from
okay.
him.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I'm good with
So,
it.
Mr. Candido, you've been warned already and now multiple times, and you are eligible for removal. Please do not continue to disrupt this meeting. Good afternoon. You have 1 minute.
I understand you continued item 5, but I want to know why the
What if
Brown
we-
Act doesn't
Willie
require
mentioned
you
the
to
Lakers.
reopen public comment on that. On Wednesday, the city attorney originally presented this amendment as a minor technical change, and what followed, Grote? We saw Councilmember Rahman flag that there was a sudden and significant change and that the city of LA would be paying $750,000 and not LADWP. We had to bring up another city attorney to answer questions on the matter. We saw Councilmember McCosker pop up, Council President echoing all of those concerns. Then we had a 30-minute closed session that was followed by the Council President saying there was understandable consternation and that he was caught off guard by the true substance of the amendment. Before this whole discussion, the matter passed with just one dissenting vote, whereas after the substantive debate, we saw the motion fail with 4 new council members joining Adrian Nazarian in opposition. Is that not substantially changed? I'm looking out for the council president here. This whole session was about the FBI looking into him and demanding records. Maybe you can get away with this on other matters, but I'm sure the feds are listening right now, man. Do I need to go talk to my friends at the DA?
Next speaker.
Thank you, Rob Kwan. Let's go, Rob. Talk to your friends at the DA.
Begins, I would like to call up.
Mr. Kwan, this is your first and
Love
only
Rob.
formal warning. Please do
Smart
not disrupt
dude.
this meeting. Good morning.
Love
You have
Rob.
1 minute.
He cleans the street up with them. No cuss words, no uhs, no ums.
Sorry. We'll
Just
restart.
cleans the street up with them with facts. Every time.
Thank you.
Shout out to Rob Kwan.
So before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Eric Anders and Dan M.
Good morning.
Of course not, Les.
I'm sorry. Good afternoon.
This card's,
You have 1 minute.
nobody
Go
cares
ahead.
about Chauncey
My name is John
Billups,
Mattingly.
regardless
I'm
of
here
what
to ask
happened.
City Council to replace LAPD Chief McDonald.
Hall of
This
Famer,
department
nobody
has been
cares.
managed irresponsibly. The management starts at the top with Chief McDonald. He has mismanaged staffing, deploying far more officers to peaceful protests than necessary. This overinflated show of force is intimidating and unnecessarily escalates the tension in the situation. I have talked to officers that do not want to be there. He has mismanaged tactics, unnecessarily injuring peaceful demonstrators and press. Both of these points equate to irresponsible use of city funds, granting officers pay and overtime like you gave him a blank check, not to mention liability payouts that should far surpass 2024 at this rate. This money could be used for essential programs and services that have been underfunded or cut, programs that each of you endorse, services that would support your voters, not intimidate or injure them. Please send a message to your voters and the LAPD by replacing Chief McDonald with responsible leadership that protects Angelinos. Thank you.
Good
Everything he
afternoon. You
said.
have 1 minute.
Los Angeles claims to be a sanctuary city, yet City Council and Mayor Bass allow LAPD and Chief Jim McDonald to abuse peaceful protesters when they're exercising their First Amendment rights to collectively state there will be no kings in the USA. Last Saturday, October 18th, just past 7 p.m., the LAPD, under the supervision of Jim McDonald, used excessive force, which was well documented by press and citizens, then widely shared on social media and the mass media, including CBS, where they beat citizens with wooden batons and trample people with horses. What are you all doing? Nothing!
Nobody got
Nothing!
trampled. Stop it. Liar.
The LAPD is being used by the U.S.
liar.
government, specifically the Department of Homeland Security, to act as street gang, blocking off roads, forcing peaceful protesters and media to leave areas without declaring those areas unlawful to be president. What reason did the LAPD have to block off Alameda Street between Commercial and Temple on October 18th before 5 p.m.? They had none, except to unlawfully prevent protesters marching from all over downtown to assemble in front of the federal building to protest the overreach of our federal government.
Okay.
Mayor Bass loves to promote a decrease in crime, but the fact remains that Los Angeles...
Keep reading that script, ma'am. No,
Speaker,
you're
your
not a
time
star
has
yet. Go
expired.
back to
We
Idaho.
have to move on to the next speaker. Speaker, Speaker, you have already been warned.
I'm
Please
an
do
actress.
not continue to disrupt this meeting. We need to move on to the next speaker. Okay, so, Mr. President, the previous speaker who was yelling has been warned multiple
Those
times.
lunatics
Who's
voted
eligible
for you
a move
guys.
If you'd like. For members of the public who are here, we want to allow as
Those
many
are your
people as
lunatic
possible to provide
voters.
public comment.
None of
but
them voted for
when you
Trump. None of
disrupt
them voted
this
for Steve
meeting,
Garvey.
and
None.
we can't regain control
Not
of the room.
one.
The only way to continue with public comment is to warn and remove you, which is not what anybody here wants.
But it's funny. You give them chance after chance after chance, but if that was Spindler or Herman, they would have been gone already. That's the funny part.
Good
That's the
afternoon,
funny
sir. You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Commies. Hurry up,
My name is
commie.
Eric. You've heard from a lot of people telling you what we saw on Saturday night, and I was there as a photographer, but I want to tell you what I heard.
Democrat
I heard people
commies.
in pain. I heard people pleading for their families. I heard people playing music, both joyful and angry. I heard drums and bagpipes. I heard chanting. I heard someone beg an LAPD officer to remember his oath, and he sneered in reply, "I don't work for you." I heard endless helicopters thumping overhead. I heard horns honking in support from the Hollywood freeway below. I heard community members on megaphones reminding us of our rights. I heard people in the crowd checking in on each other, offering water, snacks, and hugs. Somewhere in there, above and through all of that, I was apparently supposed to have heard a cop on the other side of that crowd warn that we'd been declared unlawful. I didn't hear that. Then I heard an organizer on a megaphone warn us that LAPD was moving in from all sides. People started to leave, which is what they wanted. Then I heard someone yell horses. They charged. I heard them shooting people, and I heard screaming, and I heard my heart pounding in my ears as I ran. Remove Jim McDonald. Thank you.
Is he wearing a Polaroid shirt? Remove Jim McDonald, even though we just fired him.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Daniel Sosa. On October 11th, the LA Times reported how U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley of the Trump administration is influencing Chief McDonald's personnel decisions within LAPD. But when City Council or a court of law gives LAPD a direct order, LAPD blatantly disregards it. Why is Chief McDonald taking orders from the Trump administration and disregarding orders from you? Since June, LAPD has engaged in a campaign of harassment, intimidation, assaults, and arrests of peaceful protesters and press. LAPD has used prior restraint to block off streets in anticipation of protests. They have declared and enforced unlawful assemblies on completely peaceful crowds. They have consistently assaulted peaceful protesters and members of the press, despite a TRO preventing them from doing exactly that. This blatant disregard for their own internal policies, their disregard for the law and the Constitution, their disregard of judges' orders, and the disregard for the will of the people is a slap in the face to you and everyone in this city. They are damaging this.
You're fired.
Speaker,
Thank you,
your time
John
has
D.
expired.
John D.
Next speaker.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up David Brown, Andy Garcia, and Jose Hernandez.
Good afternoon. You have 1 minute for general.
Gabe Dunn. I just wanted to talk about what you guys are able to do.
Gail.
On October 22nd, it seems like a motion was put forward to create more funding for LAPD. which is a very weird thing to do right now. It says $150,000 from homeless services account to be transferred to the police fund for overtime for police officers who are, as many people have said here, beating us. And yeah, I just am curious why Katie Yaroslavsky and John Lee put this forward, especially as the mayor gives lip service about Inside Safe constantly. So I'm just curious who makes the actual decisions in this city, why that would happen, especially at this time.
No, that's a woman.
When
That's not a
we
man.
have given much testimony about LAPD helping ICE and DHS. And so
That's
it seems
Gabriella,
like
not
there is
Gabriel.
stuff within your capabilities to do, even though you say not. And I wonder where the money's going. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Of course, you idiots voted for him. All you schmucks back there. You all voted for him.
Good afternoon. You have 1
I
minute.
know you didn't vote for Garvey.
Good afternoon.
Or anybody else,
First
any
of all,
other
I'd like to
Republican.
address Richard Rivera's, Officer Richard Rivera's, for calling us fake press. There's no fucking fake press out there. This is freedom of press, all right? And when you guys have everybody out there, all the LAPD beating everybody, one of the fake ass officers cracked a girl's head with the skull, 6 stitches, six staples in her head with a wooden katana. What is that? What's going on? When LAPD comes out there and says, "Oh, we're making a legal assembly," we were there for freedom of speech. We were dancing. We were having fun. We were enjoying ourselves. Giving
That's what press do, dance and have fun
the way
out
we
there.
protest. And then they came out there all aggressive for no reason other than just to beat everyone's ass. And when you guys are spending $160 million on people's civil rights lawsuits, and you know it's unfair, and free Palestine and fuck DHS.
Yeah, if you're press, I'm the Pope. Just because you got a press pass
Before
from
the next
eBay
speaker begins,
or
I would like to
Amazon
call up
doesn't make
Hunter
you press. Sit
Dunn
on
and
down.
Alex Caruso.
Alex
Good afternoon.
Caruso?
You have 1 minute.
Hold on
Go
a second. The Lakers here?
So, America, the biggest creator of refugees, has no right to legislate away immigration. An imperial country has no authority to deny entry to refugees that they themselves created through their capitalism bullshit. So no, they do not have the right to prosecute these people that are looking for a better life because we ruined their country. We don't have the right to persecute these people. And what are we doing? What are we doing? Working in tandem with fucking ICE, with fucking Gestapo. We're working with them. All of you, the police. I don't recall seeing any of you at King's protest. No King's protest. Where were you at? Why aren't you standing up to fascism? Why do you not see the fucking fascist orange elephant in the room?
Because you are the
Where's your
fascist.
integrity? Where's your courage? Where is your courage?
Next
Where
speaker.
is your job?
Before
How
the
come
next
you are
speaker
not at your
begins, I
job?
would like to call up Michelle.
Good afternoon. You have 1
And
minute.
thank you,
Go ahead.
immigrant, for coming to my country and telling me how to live. I appreciate it.
All of you and the chief is, how do you all sleep at night? How do you all sleep at night? I used to believe that some cops were good, and then I realized that if you wear the fucking uniform, you're complicit. We cannot count on you or the chief
That's
to
right,
keep us
unbothered.
safe. Your job is to serve us, the people. Chief, you and your cops have done the Angelinos such a great disservice, and we cannot and we will not stand for it no longer. We deserve a police chief from LA. We deserve to feel safe no matter what we identify as. I demand a leader. We demand freedom of speech.
Demand.
We will continue to fight for those who have been kidnapped. We will continue to march. We will continue to protest. We will continue to demand change. I dedicate this to all the natives in the MDC because we will never be immigrants on stolen land. Y que vive la resistencia.
You know what you won't continue to do
Before
is
the
work.
next speaker begins,
Get
I
a
would
job.
like to call up Michael Ackerman.
That you won't do. And we'll continue to keep paying for you and
My
your
name
keys.
is Hunter Dunn. I'm a spokesperson for the National 5051 movement, which put on the No Kings protest with over 7 million people last Saturday. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to demand that this council immediately remove Police Chief Jim McDonald.
Sure, Commie.
I was there when a police officer stepped out of his car, pointed at a medic bearing the American flag, got back in his
medic.
car, and ran him over.
medic.
I was there when that happened. They would have hit more people if heroic people that day didn't move more
medic.
people out of the way. That's not the only thing that happened. They brutalized protesters that night with horses, batons, and less lethal weapons. Not less than lethal, less lethal. In doing so, they injured 7 journalists in violation of a court injunction. The LAPD does not seek to serve and protect this community. Instead, it seeks only to kill and destroy, and to defend a fascist government that is taking our neighbors, our family, and our friends hostage. A real community force would not attack peaceful protesters. It would arrest ICE for its crimes against humanity. I yield my...
That's what I think about your crimes against humanity. That's what I think about
I will
that.
be calling the last 2 speakers up. I will be calling Jesse G. and Daniel Sosa.
So 32 minutes.
Daniel Sosa spoke already.
So 31 minutes. And we're going to make sure we cut that last minute out. We're done
All
here.
right. So that will conclude
That's
public
it.
comment for today's
Kami
meeting. We're
says
going
it's
to
done.
lose quorum.
You vote for this, Kami. You voted for that token,
All right,
that token
Madam,
DEI
Madam
hire.
Clerk.
And you got him.
We've
That's what you
lost
get when you
quorum,
hire DEI,
so we need to
folks
adjourn this
back there
meeting.
yelling.
Council has motion.
You voted for it. You got it. I'm loving it. Just like McDonald's, motherfucker. I'm loving it.
Da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
This meeting is adjourned due to loss of quorum.
Oh, loss of quorum. That's it. They're all taking off. The pussies had to run. The spineless, yellow belly bastards that they are had to run off. We don't have a quorum. Let's mute it. They muted it, by the way. That's not me. That's not us. It's on. Up, 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 up. They don't want you to hear it.
Okay. Mr. President, to clarify,
Mr.
quorum
President.
has not been lost, so council has motions for
Ooh, she's
posting
not
and
liking
referral,
it.
sir.
She's
They're
angry.
posted and referred.
The desk is clear, sir.
The
All right.
desk is clear,
We're-
sir. Somebody's
Are there
angry.
any? Are there
You
any
pissed
adjourning
the Asian
motions,
lady
members?
off.
All right.
It is a clown show. That's what I put Clowncil.
Seeing no adjourning
That's what
motions,
they
this
are.
meeting is adjourned.
You hire DEI, this is what you get. That's what you get when you hire DEI. That's what you get. A bunch of clowns. When you hire the circus, you get clowns. And that's what you got in the second largest city in the entire country. You got a bunch of fucking clowns. Communist fucking crybaby clowns. And the fucking people in there yelling and screaming are the assholes who voted for them. I'm loving it.
Da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it.
The rats are eating their own. The Demo-rats are eating their own. That's all they got. That's all they got. Clowns be clowning. That's it. Don't tell me that dude ain't a fucking commie. Don't tell me he isn't, because he absolutely is. He's a communist pig, just like the rest of them there. And they deserve everything they're getting right now. I love to hear their voter base screaming and yelling at them. Fucking love it. Like with a passion. I love it. It's fun to watch. It's great to hear. I love it. Yes, this fire's been going on for a little bit. It apparently took off on them to where they had to go into surround and drown mode. And I guess they just set up on top of the motel there and just said, fuck it, we'll save this place. And other places, dunzo, sunzo. That shit's still burning, as you can see, and they're getting a whole lot of water on it. You got like 6 active hoses on top of it. It's still burning like you ain't got nothing on it. That's crazy. Oh my God, I didn't even see these 3 over here. Or 4 over there. Holy smokes. How many thousands and thousands of gallons per minute are going on that fire, and it's still burning? That's wild to me. That's wild. But you could pour that much water on a flame, and it still won't go out. I mean, there must have been some hell of a material in there that's super flammable. Are they being investigated? Yes, Patty, they are. You know what I mean? Yes. And I think that's what Rob Kwan was talking about. That's why I really do love Rob Kwan. You know, he comes in here with his Laker shirt, always signs up as a Laker player or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he was Alex Caruso. That's who, you know, that used to be one of the Lakers, Caruso. He's now like the Bulls or wherever, or Oakland. I think he's in Oklahoma now. I think that's where he's at, in Oklahoma. But anyways, you know, he comes in, cleans the street up with them. No cuss words at all. I mean, I've heard him cuss, but it's very rarely. No uhs, no ums, and just straight facts. Super intelligent dude. You know, I can't knock him. He's been that way since day one, since the first time I've ever seen Rob. You know what I mean? So I have a respect for Rob Kwan. You know what I mean? He doesn't just take their fucking shit sandwich, eat it, and say yum, like some of them do, like the panderer. A great panderer doesn't understand why I call him that. Well, because he panders to a lot of these folks. He may not do it to all of them. He showed a little moxie today, but that doesn't mean much. Again, he in 1 second they'll put 2 street lights on his street. He'll be happy, and he'll be over there, you know, knee bending to them. And I can't do that. I just won't. These people need to be called out for what they are. They're all pieces of shits. Every last one of them. You name the 15 different districts. Let's go through them. Let's go see how awesome they are, how good they're doing. Every one will be piled with trash. Every one will have homeless encampments. Every one of them will have businesses that will probably shut down because of their doing. Ones that were already lost still for lease signs up thanks to them shutting everything down and being complicit in the shutdown. Hey, plane coming for landing. So, yeah. I wish the absolute worst for all those people on the horseshoe and their families. That's what they deserve. They deserve that. They deserve that. And it's not because even they're just doing a bad job. It's because they constantly pat themselves on the back while telling you they're doing a good job while it's fucking everything up. So they're essentially just lying to your face. It's one thing to just try to get things done and not get much done. You know what I mean? And then not tell me much about it. But it's a whole nother when you just prop up yourself. Like I had the idiot Martinez, Monica Rodriguez, that idiot. I mean, she was up there to honor a 90-year-old lady that's been working for the city for apparently like 60 fucking years or more. And all she could do is talk about herself. This reminds me when I was a little girl. You were so big to me when I was a little girl. I was doing this, and we did that, and I did this, and I did that. You're there to honor the chick that rolled in a wheelchair. Let her speak. Let her talk about you. Why does it always have to be about you? Always. They always put it on to themselves. They always pat their backs, too. We took 6 people off the streets and put them in a home. I mean, it wasn't my money that did it, and I didn't personally pick them up and take them there, but I'm going to take the credit for it because it was in my district. That kind of shit. That kind of shit. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand people who pretend to be successful when it's people underneath them doing all the work and getting no credit. The Monday morning successful quarterback. I've been around people like that. They want everybody to do everything for them. They don't do much themselves. And then when it comes time, they take all the credit. Yeah. Those people know who they are. So, and that's just that. Because of what shutdown? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm sorry. Got into your conversation. I did have coffee, 74. I'm having it now. I didn't have some of Beej's coffee. I ran and got some McDonald's. I had to run out early and do a few things. So I just ran and grab, because I didn't know how much time I'd have to come home and cook and then eat and clean everything up and put it all away and all that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't want to. But I knew it was Friday, and that's the thing, is sometimes they'll do 30, 40 minutes of this shit, but today they did an hour and 45 minutes of bullshit talk. So it's hard to tell. They just packed so much in. You heard that lady. As soon as the yelling started, she said, well, the whole meeting was really boring until now. Right? I'm sure you remember that line. Well, Bear, that very well could be, Bear. But I can tell you this. Bear, I live here. I've lived here my whole life other than 9 months of living in Vegas and whatever time I toured with my friends, which probably about a year now if you looked at it. So my whole life, but maybe 2 years I've been here. Okay, born and raised here. I've seen it. I've seen the change, the absolute decline, the decay of Los Angeles. I've seen it. You know, and it's not getting any better. In fact, it's only getting worse, and at a faster rate. And then I have to deal with people telling me what kind of good jobs they're doing and wasting time telling me about immigrant families and all these other families that live here of different faiths and different, ethnic backgrounds. And I get it. All they want is to get those people's votes and pretend they care about them. But those people should be smart enough to see that the people that are yelling at them are their voters and aren't getting what they wanted. They're not getting enough crumbs, like all the beggars who come in here from Ace and Larsa and Lasso and what's the other one? Sage. All these groups, they're all the beggars. And it's funny how none of them are Republican beggars. It's just really odd to me. It's really fucking odd to me that every one of those people vote Democrat. It's really funny. But then I say, okay, well, they're the people of the crumbs. Democrats give you crumbs so that way you like them. Hey, these people give me crumbs. I must vote for them. Simple. It's easy. They gave me amnesty. I must vote for them. They gave me a free Obama phone. I must vote for them. You're basically paying for votes. Okay? Don't you remember fucking, what was that movie? The one in New York. Gangs of New York. When they were giving people fucking, here, vote for Tammany. The Irish folks were coming right off the fucking boat and they were here giving them bread right away. Right off the bat. Here's some food the second you got off the boat. I know it's not much. It's a little bread. It's something. Vote Tammany. Vote Tammany. I know you remember that. I'm sure if you've seen the movie more than once, you'd remember. Okay? It's no different then to now. When times have changed. 100+ years has changed, ain't nothing changed but the time and date. Yes, it's a great movie, but that's the whole deal. You know what I mean? You're buying your votes, and it's disgusting. You have to stoop to those levels to get anywhere, because these DEI hires would all be working at Starbucks or at Big Five selling basketballs and BB guns. That's about how qualified they are to be where they're at. They're there because they have, because they're super gay, or they're this group, or they're that religion, or they're, this, that, or the other. They have to have one of each. They're not there for the best of the job. I don't believe any of that. Not one of them. Not fucking one. What's up, Cam? Not a one. They're all token DEI hires. And look, there's a drone. Someone got a drone up. All of them. Every last one of them. They're in LAX, Robert. Those are flights from LAX coming in, or going to LAX, rather. So they're in the flight path there, and it looks like they're up close, but I would guess they're about 3 miles away in the air, 3 miles out of the flight path. They're just zoomed in so crazy on a nice, steady shot. You have this great shot, you know what I mean? You can't get that close, and that drone... I mean, firefighters, I don't think, they don't care much about the drone, but the drone being high enough to be in that flight path is not a good thing, because the drone could totally hit a jetliner. Go sucked right in the engine, right? like a bird. It's no different than a bird strike. It's not going to divert. It's going to keep going where it's going on its course. And if you happen to be in that line, yeah. It's like the kid. Don't you remember the kid that during the fires, he was flying his drone during the fires, and he hit his drone hit one of the super scoopers. It literally fucked the wing. I think it was the right side of the wing. Completely dented it in. Fucked it up. Could only imagine what it cost to fix a wing on that plane. And they caught him. He got charged. So that's what I'm saying. Those kinds of things can happen. Lakers, one of those teams in the gambling probe, shaking my head. Well, I mean, good old LeBron, apparently. You know? And it's funny. You know, I can't remember which channel I was watching on YouTube, but there was like this dude, this black guy that was talking about the group that LeBron is like in. Like this, they're not a mafia, but they're, I don't know how to even explain them. They're like an Illuminati group for black people only. And apparently they're pretty powerful. So they help get LeBron and put him in power to make him the guy he is. And now it's coming time where you have to, it's almost like selling yourself to the devil. You have to do something to pay it back. You have to sacrifice to pay it back. You have to sacrifice somebody. And if you don't sacrifice somebody, you get sacrificed. So, I swear to God, I saw this just like maybe a week and a half ago. Watch this whole video about it. And then boom, this shit happens. Yeah, Jen, something like that. And yeah, so who knows? Maybe they're a part of it. Maybe he didn't want to sacrifice anybody, and they're like, okay, well, we made you a star. You know, this, that, and the other. So here you go. And who knows? That could have been the one who gave up all the info. Who knows? But, yeah, it was just, it was some dude, and, you know, he was talking about, like, the whole, because apparently that whole group is, like, you know, so a lot of wealthy, you know, influential, famous black folks are in this group. And he was talking about somebody else, but then he started to talk about LeBron, too. So, yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he got sacrificed because he didn't, what do you call it? He didn't, he didn't pay up or do what he was supposed to do. See how far out they are? Look at that. See? They're way out of the flight path. But that camera is just so fucking good. Look at the smog and haze. Look at that. See, and you know, I'm all for getting rid of the carb, like we're talking about here. Okay, because I hate the way they crack down a lot. But you can say to yourself, look at how shitty it looks right now. Could you imagine, though, realistically, if they did get rid of all the smog laws, how bad it would be? Because I remember when you'd be outside as a kid, you'd be at school, recess, you'd run around playing handball or basketball, whatever the fuck you were doing, right? And then all of a sudden, you literally can't breathe, like you just breathe in and it hurts. Like the breathing, it hurts your chest to breathe. You know? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if completely getting rid of it for every car is a good idea. You know, for new cars, I get it. Your car should be so new and so fine that nothing should be a matter. You know, nothing bad should happen with it because it should be compliant is kind of what I'm getting. I'm trying to do two things. Yeah, I just think that, you know, you need to have some sort of, you know, regulation to cars. And you know, it's really not even our cars. Like, it's more of like, you know, trucks and school buses, you know, and I know they're making school buses now that are like electric now. I see them because they have green rims. If you notice, the rims are green, versus, being regular black. So it's a lot of that. Smog is bad for the lungs. LeBron cards are going to crash. Yeah, it definitely ain't going to help LeBron cards, especially if things get worse to where they find out, really bad stuff. You know what I mean? Because what they've found so far is not good, but it's not crazy. What's wild though is what they were doing, cheating in those poker games. Dude, what they were doing in the poker games was wild. They had see-through tables and had X-ray vision, so they deal the cards down, they're face down, and they could see what was going on, and then they had the buzzers to tell the one person at the table, hey, this person's got you beat, so fold. Or when you got them beat and they're trying to bluff you, just keep going. It was crazy. All the things they were doing. Oh, man. All the people that played poker with those fools should be pissed as fuck because they just got ran for their money. That's it. Kimmy, I doubt it. I don't even know which one you're talking about, but I doubt it. Just a random fire. Shut down gambling on sports. Well, that would help the gambling issues, that's for sure. But they would never do that because Vegas is too in cahoots with it all. And I wouldn't even doubt it, yeah, no, I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, they're just everybody's too wrapped into it. That's really what it is. Everyone becomes a winner. And again, I don't look at it as, when you say it's, it's a staged. Well, to me, it's not staged. I don't think they go out and say the Lakers are going to win 130-109 over the Suns tonight, and it's going to be that. I don't think it's that. I think it's players and individual players, coaches, and individual referees that shave points here or there, especially a ref, because if one team's creating momentum against the other and you want the team that's losing right now to win, what do? You start calling calls against that team to slow the better team down, right? Damn, look how far out. See what I mean? That's how far out they are. Oh, there's SoFi. Where the Rams play. There's where the Clippers play. And then you have the Forum. Dude, it's crazy to see how small the Forum is, as big as it is. There's LAX right there. See how close we are? And look at all that haze and smog and fucking nastiness. Oh, boy. NFL's obviously rigged. You think so completely? Every game, every person? I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, Taiji, I don't know if Taiji's still in here. He played 5 or 6 seasons in the NFL. I'm sure he'd tell you. What does he care now? He's retired. Ain't going to do nothing to him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he probably still gets a pension. Probably gets that NFL money every year to get that check coming every day or every month. But, yeah. I don't think it's that. I don't think, again, for that to happen, there'd have to be scripts. People would be having to write scripts, and there's no way one player who didn't like the NFL said, fuck the NFL, like a Antonio Brown. You know and I know. The way he's gone out, that if anybody had scripts, he'd be, look, motherfucker, this is the script for on Sunday. You idiots bet against us. We won, blah, blah, blah. Here's the one where we won right here. Look, Super Bowl win. Look, exactly the way it says. Look, Tom Brady throws the touchdown to fucking Corey Dillon or whoever. Boom, right there, done, finished. Just how it ended. You'd see that. I really think you'd see that. You'd see one motherfucker trying to bring it all down for the clout. But you don't. Because it's individual players. One who just decided to not make that catch. Or not make that tackle. I really think so. I'm good, Rapido. How are you? He would, right, QWERTY? Come on now. If anybody would be the guy. It's because, again, I don't believe it's scripted. WWE is scripted. Yes, every match, there's a script. I'm sure of it. It tells you who's winning, what the matches are in a row, who's fighting who. Yeah, I think absolutely that is. But we know it is. We know it is. Okay. Now, as far as sports, I don't think it is. I really don't. I'll be honest. I think that there's definitely players, like I said, coaches and stuff that are affecting the outcomes of these games for their benefit. I think that's the best way to say it. And that way you realize that not everything is on point. There are things that shouldn't be happening that are happening. You know? Those things should not be happening, and it's compromising the entire sport. You know? And again, it's just, I equate this, like, let's look at baseball for just a second, right? Let's just say baseball is completely rigged, since you're saying sports is rigged, right? Like, in wrestling, I have to have a huge, like, a big physique, right? I have to be in fantastic shape. I've got to be a good wrestler. I've got to be safe, and I need mic skills. That's what wrestlers need. They need to be able to talk shit on the mic, to do that little interview in between that hypes it all up, right? Like Roddy Piper did all the time in Piper's Pit, right? You need to have all those qualities in order to be a star wrestler. Otherwise, they push you out pretty quickly. There's a high turnaround of a lot of little wrestlers that just come in and out, in and out. They change a name, and then they just die out. Now, with baseball, let's just say it's the same thing. It's scripted, just like wrestling. Well, I'd still have to run really well. I'd have to catch really well, right? Field the ball. I'd still have to hit the ball. And even if I told you there's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, 4 of them in a row coming, could you hit that 100-mile-an-hour fastball knowing full well that it's not a curveball or a splitter or a sinker? It's a straight fastball coming right down the pipe. Just hit it. So you'd still have to have those skills in order to do that, to be a star. But I'm telling you, there's just no way that all these people for 100 years plus are all scripted actors. There's just no way. Are there cheaters? Absolutely. Cheaters of all kinds. Ones that took, dives in the 1919 World Series for the Black Sox, right? The White Sox became the Black Sox scandal, remember? Okay, 1919. They've been cheating a long time, spitting on the ball. Okay, Pete Rose, he got in trouble. He wasn't really doing anything in the game, but he was doing kind of like what LeBron and them were caught for doing. Betting away from the game, which might have, affected outcomes for the Cincinnati Reds. Who knows? So there's different types of cheating. And then there's anabolic cheating, anabolic steroids, PEDs, human growth hormones. Okay? Then there's stealing signs, beating on trash cans. There's all kinds of cheating, right? I mean, just, again, baseball as a whole has been a game of cheaters a long time. It just has. It just has. It's unfortunate, but it just has. It has that reputation, and it always will, but I don't think it's scripted. I don't think it's rigged in that sense. If it's rigged by one particular player doing something. Yeah, corked bats, another thing, absolutely. Abso-frickin-lutely. And then even baseball as a whole cheating, changing how they wind the ball up, how tightly wound the inside of the ball is. Okay, there's a ball within the baseball, and they made the inner portion of the ball wound tighter so it pops off the bat and flies a little further. Why? Because offense sells the games. People don't give a shit about a pitcher who goes 16-0 with a fucking ERA under 1. I mean, it's nice. It's great. It's a story, but it ain't the story. People remember how insane everybody went from fucking Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire. We were watching the Royals and the Angels, and all of a sudden that game had to go, and in the middle of the game, they went to fucking Barry Bonds' at bat, even though it wasn't even this game. You remember that? You remember that when they did it for Big Mac too? Sammy Sosa? Okay, which were all cheaters. All of them. All to hype up the game because the offense sells the games. Defense may win championships, but offense sells the sport. Okay? When we talk about hockey, everybody's first words are McDavid or McKinnon. Two of the top hockey players in the league that score goals and have a lot of assists too. Nobody gives a shit about the goaltender who does really well, has a really low goals against average. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, a real hockey head does. Yeah, he's got a great season. Fantastic. We wish he was our goaltender. But doesn't sell the sport. Yes, Gretzky sold the sport. Offense. Gretzky was a defensive player in any stretch. He wasn't big enough. A little guy. You don't want him getting hurt. That's what I'm saying, Andrew. So these are the things that sell the sport, and that's why I say I don't believe that the sport as a whole is rigged. I think it's certain players. But when you find out things like what's happening, it does degrade the sport as a whole. Because it's tough for a lot of people then to trust anybody. And I get it. You should be that way. You should be skeptical. I tell you all the time. Most people are fucking lying to you all the time. A lot of these stations are always lying to you. Eat it up. Shame to Mets fan. Well, I mean, at least he's trying. Cohen's trying. CC Truck. I mean, the days of the 84 Mets, the 85 years, 86, those were the years for the Mets. But I don't know. They gotta come back somehow, sometime. Look at the Cubs. Cubs struggle for fucking ever. Finally put a team together. Won a World Series. And, like him or not, I'm not a great fan of Cohen. I don't really care. But at least the dude's putting money down, trying to win. Signed Soto for all that money, right? Signed Lindor, big money. Kept all his draft picks when he could have traded them to the Angels for Ohtani. I remember them saying they would have gave Francisco Alvarez. They would have gave Brett Beatty. They would have gave, what's his name, also for Ohtani. So, yeah. It is what it is. What do I think of CM Punk? I don't really watch him. I don't really watch too much new wrestling, Danny. I know I don't sell a lot of his cards. I mean, he's one of those people that people like. I know that. But he's not like a real hot seller when it comes to wrestling. Like the one I'd say is the hottest seller in the men's side is Cody Rhodes. Like anything of Cody Rhodes just fucking sells. Just like some of the women, anything of fucking Tiffany Stratton sells. Anything of Cora Jade sells. Liv Morgan, she sells. A lot of women wrestlers that sell really high, really expensive. So I think with the men, it's a little more tough on the new side. The newer wrestlers that sell is like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. What's his name? LA Knight seems to be kind of hot, or he was hot for a little bit there. What about Vesia being out? Well, it sucks to have to deal with. It's a family issue, and hopefully he's all right and his family's all right. It's all you can say. It's more important than baseball. Hopefully he can, make it back to the team, because I do believe he's on the roster. So, yeah. Did the mob threaten their lives on those involved in the cheating scandal? I have no clue, Oscar. I have no clue. People like that set things up and make lots of money, and they don't want to lose out on that. They don't take kindly when it stops, when the gravy train stops. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you. Good morning. Yeah, they don't take kindly when the gravy train stops. So, I don't know. But I also know that as much as they love money, they don't like prosecution from the federal government either. Last thing you want is the federal government snooping around your betting business. Or any business for that matter. You know what I mean? They're not trying to do that. So, yeah, who knows? I think there's a lot more going on. You've only heard a very small portion of it. They're telling you what they want you to know and not all of what should be happening. And apparently they've been what do you call it? They've been investigating this for quite a while now. This isn't something new. And one would say, right, for all the ones who say it's rigged, right? One would think that it couldn't just be the NBA, right? Could it be the NFL? That tight end who dropped the pass when you saw it, straight into his fucking hands, bang, right on the numbers, bang, couldn't catch it. You know what I mean? Or he should have kept the ball in bounds, but he decided to run out of bounds like a dummy, stop the clock for the other team, who knows? So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that, again, it's a slippery slope. Is there goaltenders that are taking the money to give up goals? Lame goals? It's not just the NBA. See, that's what I'm saying. Like 40 Dog says cancel NBA. Well, okay, let's just say we do. Cancel the NBA. It's done. No more NBA. No more playing basketball professionally at any level. Okay? That would mean NCAA and all that, I guess, too. Who knows? But whatever. So then what? That's it? I'd venture to say that there might be, like I said, somebody in hockey doing it. Somebody in baseball doing it. Who knows? So you're saying the NIL will change it, Papa? You think they'll just get paid in college and be done in college? I mean, for certain sports like football, that might be the lick. You play high school, you get your lumps taken, right? You play NCAA, you make some great money, a couple mil in college, be out. But you won't have these lavish $75 million a year contracts. I mean, it's all out of whack today anyways. Nobody needs $75 million to throw a ball around. But I do also understand that there's less than probably 60 people on this earth that could do that job efficiently. Less than 60 out of our entire world population. Not this country, the entire world. So, not that many motherfuckers that are over 6'5" with a great arm that are smart enough to read playbooks and become an efficient passer. And the women that love the men over 60, you should realize this. 60 in an entire world. Such a minuscule fraction. So there's that. Golfers lose their status if they play bad, so why would they throw matches? Golfers? Well, I don't think they would unless they were essentially betting against themselves. I mean, betting on yourself is a gamble. You're putting more pressure on it. So if I'm betting against myself and I get up there and then on the last day I bet for myself and I have a major putt to put it into overtime and I totally just purposefully bet against myself, like I said, and then miss the putt to make money and knowing full well that, okay, well, I'll finish second in the tournament and not first, still making a ton of money, $100,000 or more, and finishing second in a PGA tournament, not to mention the money I win betting against myself. So I don't know. That's all I can think of. It's bingo rigged, bowling rigged. That's what I'm saying. You all think everything's rigged now. I'm telling you, it's not. It couldn't be an entire sport. There'd be too many loose lips. There's too many people that play sports and don't like the people that run the sports. It's kind of like me. Like, if YouTube is doing something bad, I would tell you right away. You know I would. If I had fucking confirmation of it, I would be the first to tell you. Yet I'm on YouTube. Right? So it's the same thing there. Cricket? Yeah, we don't play cricket here. There's very, very few cricket players, I think, in this country. even cycling was rigged. Well, and Lance, again, does that mean everybody in the Tour de France was fucking PED'd up? No, that just meant Lance Armstrong was. Wonder he was fucking balling out, just killing everybody like four. Didn't he win like 4 Tour de France's in a row? Some shit like that. Steroids, baby. But he admitted to it, I guess, and that doesn't make it okay. Because the people that lost to those still, they still feel the effects. They're still pissed because they ran the race clean and you didn't. So, again, not the whole sport, just untaught individuals that decide to do these things. And none of them think about it, guys. All these major stars all cheated, and none of them had their careers helped by it. Not A-Rod, not Bonds, not Mark McGuire, not Sammy Sosa, not Jose Canseco, not Lance Armstrong. None of them. Not Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. None of them are in the Hall of Fame. None of them should be. The only cheater I can truly say that's in the Hall of Fame is Ortiz. It's Big Papi. They shouldn't have put that dude in the Hall of Fame. He is another PEDer. So, and if you put him in, you might as well put Bonds and Clemens and everybody else that all cheated. There's so many that cheated and didn't win. Well, Tiger never cheated. I don't remember him cheating. I mean, sure, he took PEDs, but as far as I know, that doesn't, like, they're not testing for that shit. You know what I mean? Some sports, they don't test. Like, they don't test for weed in Major League Baseball. Those are smoking weed all day in baseball. Right? Same in golf. I bet you people are smoking weed and drinking. Look at John Daly. He definitely would have got in trouble. Look at John Daly. Come on now. And see, that goes to show you, you can literally go barefoot and drunk, smoking a cigar, and still play as good as some of the best in the world, if not better, without having to cheat. Shout out to John Daly. Cheated on his wife? Well, hey, cheating on his wife has nothing to do with the sport. I don't condone that shit. Okay? But again, it's hard-pressed to be a man who's on top of his sport and have all this pussy being thrown at you and not react. I think it's his fault for getting married. I mean, she's hot. I'm not going to say she was like a Swedish bikini model. Come on. But, I just think that, look, I know that if I was on top of my sport and had all that money and I was young, the last thing I'm doing is getting married. I am fucking like a train through everything. Every state, every city, I'm going to have 2 of them. Everywhere. That's what I'm going to do. Until I'm done with the sport. Then when I'm done with the sport, I'll settle down, I'll get married, maybe have kids, and do all that. Do the normal homestead thing. But when you're a young kid, I just don't see the purpose. That's it. And that way you're not a cheater. You're not hurting anybody's feelings. You're not hurting any girl. You're good with it. They're good. Everybody's good. Oh my God. Well, it's true. I'm just saying. That way you don't hurt anybody. You're not cheating on anybody. And, again, it's easy for us to talk, smack or just to think about it and give you a quick answer. But it's a whole nother to be in their shoes. And trust me, there's a double-edged sword to that. Because, again, every girl that you're with, you know that they want to be with you because of who you are. Not because you're a great guy. Not because you're fun to be around. Not because you got a beautiful heart or whatever. You're a caring, giving person. It's none of that. No, it's because you're that dude in the sport and you're famous. And that could make them famous. So there's that. Now, again, there are some girls who don't look at that and they may not know who you are. I doubt it, but... usually somebody's going to be like, yeah, meet my friend. He's so-and-so. Oh, okay. I don't normally like golfers, but okay. I'll make an exception. So, come on. I just think it's just that way. Just saying. Gold diggers, yes, a lot of them would be. And that's my point. Like, it's not like, you're getting a great quality woman in that sense. In fact, you're getting a lot of women that just want to be with you because of who you are. And that's what I'm saying. It becomes a slippery slope, too. Because then it fucks with your head. Because then when you go to settle down, then you're saying to yourself, is this woman that I really like now and I want to be with, is she there because she loves me and not because of who I am or what I can provide for her? Does she just love me for me? So it's a double-edged sword. Trevor Bauer, yeah, I mean, look what happened with him. He got in trouble. But again, he was one of them young floozies, and yeah, the young floozy done ruined his career. That's why that chick should be in jail, if you ask me. You can sue her, but what does she have? She doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together. She's going to tell you to get in line. Can't draw blood from a stone, as they say. So she's got nothing to take. So that's why she does what she does, because she's essentially a whore. You know what I mean? She sleeps with men for their status and money. Soccer rig? Didn't FIFA get in trouble? Didn't FIFA get in all kinds of trouble in the sport for doing something bad like about 3-4 years ago? Pretty sure I remember FIFA getting dragged through the mud. Vodka tonic, $40. Yeah, that's why I don't go to games anymore. I'm telling you, I could bring a box in this big and that wide, filled with tickets. Not concert tickets, just Dodgers, Kings, Lakers, Clippers, all of it. Rams. I just don't care to go anymore. I'm sickened by their greed. I don't want to pay for these contracts, so I just stay home and enjoy. When I need to use the restroom, I can go 20 steps over to my restroom. When I'm thirsty, I can go grab water that's not $9 a bottle. Okay? Just get my water right here. Watch it on a big 75-inch screen. I'm good. I don't need anything else. And sure, my screen's old now. It's like 8 years old. I bought that thing. Old tech. Shit still works. Yeah. FIFA rigs who gets the World Cup. See, there you go. DW just told you right there. I don't know anything about soccer. You know I don't. Again, it's... I don't know. Maybe one day everybody gets the curtain pulled back on them, and then what do we do as sports fans? Just never like sports anymore? It's just done. They better hope, all these athletes better hope it doesn't happen. Their families have generational wealth due to one person being a great athlete in their family. And that will all change. No more big contracts, no more teams, no more nothing. All be gone. All these guys that were billionaires had these billionaire franchises. They won't be worth fucking dick. So, yeah. You won't get jumped in your living room? Yep. Saw that lady get beat up at the Rams game last couple weeks ago. Yeah. They're mostly hybrids that he has sideways. Or I'm sorry, slideways. Yeah, mostly hybrids. World Cup is the hottest city in the world. Genius. World Cup in the hottest city in the world. Genius. Okay, sorry. Just it's moving up. It's hard for me. L.A., yes. We'll see. Isn't it supposed to be in like 3 months from now or 4 months? The city looks like shit right now. They better get the cleaning sometime. Because I don't see anything happening. Nothing's getting done. I don't see no cleaning getting done. So they better get the cleaning. I'm sure they'll wait for the 2-week mark, and then that's when they'll do it. They'll go heavy every day, all day, for 2 weeks straight to make it look clean. Last minute, That's how they are. Last minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, KJ. I mean, I saw the documentary. I don't know if I believe it, but I mean, it's all his words. think it'd be pretty crazy to do what he did. I'm just a little skeptical. Yeah, J-Dub, I mean, these sports can't, though, because you got to remember, those are the golden gooses. They're the golden geese. And without the golden geese, there's no gold. So that's why they put up with LeBron and the other idiots that just are big babies. Because they have to. Because those people sell the sport. Like him or not, I don't like him. But believe it or not, there's millions of LeBron fans still to this day, even today after finding out what's been going on. And even if more comes out, they'll still be fans of his. So, and that's their right. And I'm not singling him out. Just saying, you have fans of all types. So, it is what it is. World Cup's not next summer. 2026. Spring of 2026. Someone told me it was in the spring. So it's either in the spring or the summer of 2026. So even if let's just say you're right, the summer, still less than a year. It's fall now. You never seen Michael Jordan kick out fans just because he had criticized? Oh, no, you never did. But, again, he was a gambler. We know Michael was. I mean, if the stories are true, that's why his father is gone. Some people say his father was murdered over his debts. I don't think it's true. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I never met any of them. And hopefully it's not true. But, gambling gets crazy. That's why I say it's okay to gamble once every 3 years or whatever. Go to Vegas. Have your fun. But if you're on DraftKings every day, if you're doing TVG betting for fucking race horses and at home every day, that's a problem. That's a problem. In my opinion, it's a problem. It really is. Because they've made it too easy for you don't even have to get in your car and go to a casino anymore. And just, if I want to play slots, I can go online and play slots. That's a dangerous path, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Just is. I think a lot of people end up getting hurt. Financially, and maybe even physically. Who knows? I don't know, Oscar. I don't know if he was a gambler. Couldn't tell you. A lot of athletes are, though. They like to gamble. They're competitive people. They'll play you fucking backgammon, baccarat, Uno. They'll play you Uno for money. Hopscotch. That's just how they are. That's how Michael Jordan was. I guarantee it. I've seen the videos of him fucking pitching, literally with the guys in the staff at the stadium, pitching quarters against the wall for $20. Okay? So if you're pitching quarters against the wall and you're the biggest NBA star ever in the history of the sport, I'd say you're a gambler. Because if you're doing that, I assure you, you're on the plane when you're flying to LA to go play the Lakers. You're playing cards with teammates and they're losing money. You're probably in the locker room playing cards. Guaranteed. You're going to Vegas. They're giving you fucking markers for $1 million. Thank you, J-Dub, for the big dono. Michael Jordan famously said, I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competition problem. See, and that's what I'm saying. There you go. I didn't even know he said that. Thank you, J-Dub. And there you have it. They're competitive people. And that's what it is. I'm telling you. You make a hopscotch thing on the ground and see if they ain't going to play for $100 a game, play hopscotch. Just because it's the only thing they have to do right then and there. That's just how they do. That's just them. That's in their blood. That's why they're athletes, because they're competitive. An athlete likes to compete. They don't like to lose at anything. Making millions, spending it just as quickly. Oh, Andrew, yeah. Look, and look, Andrew, I'm going to put myself in their shoes. Could you imagine being 19, 20, 21 and signing a $100 million contract? And sure, you don't get the whole 100, even if you got 47 out of it after taxes and paying the lawyers and the agent and everything else. And let's just say you got 47 million, right? And you got 20 of it in the bank overnight. The other 27 comes over time, right? Kind of right away, you're going to go buy a $5 million home, which is probably too much. You know what I mean? It's already too big of a house. And then you're spending money like water. You're getting a Lamborghini, you're getting a Mercedes-Benz, this, that, and the other. When you see the other players, they all have more money than you usually because you're on a rookie contract. They have more money, and it's like keeping up with the Joneses. Some of them don't. Some of them roll around a fucking old car. You'll see them. Old Ford Explorer. Everybody else has a Bentley. They're pulling in with an Explorer getting made fun of. But they're not the ones at the end of their career hurting for cash either. You know what I mean? They're the ones that saved and were a little more frugal. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. You start spending the money like water, and then you think it just keeps coming in, and then 2-3 years down the line, you get your knee blown out. Can't play anymore. Now what? And remember, you have a lot of family that may not have money, so they depend on you to pay for them. There's that, too. Don't forget about that. A lot of freeloaders like, man, my cousin plays football. He's got to pay for me, too, now. My brother plays football. I can't seem to get a job, so I'm just going to live off my bro. So there's a lot of that. I mean, I always remember, what's his name, blew $119 million, Antoine Walker from the Celtics. $119 million he made, and all of it gone. And owed millions in Vegas for markers. At least he paid it off, though. He didn't get arrested like, what's his name, just got arrested in the airport for one of the, I think it was Markeith, Chris or something, who got arrested. Well, Olden didn't play a long time. He got hurt right away. He had 1 year and he was one and done. Yeah, Sally, one of them got arrested. He was with his whole family. They were about to go on a trip, and they caught him in the airport with his family and his twin brother. Yeah, it was Markeith Morris, I want to say. And his brother Marcus Morris was with him, too. Whole family was there. And they straight put him in handcuffs and literally chained his feet together and put him on a wheelchair and rolled him out. Because, again, the people that own those casinos are going to have charges brought against you. The state of Nevada is pretty serious about you taking markers out for big money and not paying it back. So I guess he thought he could just take it and pay it back whenever he wanted to. I don't know, but they don't work like that. So they extradited him from Florida back to Nevada, where, as far as I know, he's still in jail. As far as I know. And I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, you're talking lots and lots of money. When you walk in there and say, hey, I want $50,000 to play with, they're willing to give it to you, as long as your credit's good. Then you don't pay. And, of course, when you're an NBA player, what's $50,000? Most of those guys make that in every game. Some of them make it just in a few minutes. Someone like LeBron? Shit. Making that in a few fucking minutes. So it's not that big of a deal. They know you have the means to pay it back. So it's on the trust system. Then they get wrapped into that. And don't think that some of them that got wrapped into it may have said, okay, well, you can't pay that back. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to play that game next Tuesday, and you're going to have 6 turnovers. You're going to make sure that you help your team lose by 4 when they're the favorite by 2. They become compromised. Then they're in the pockets of these people. I could totally see that happening. I could totally see it happening. Call me crazy, but I could see it happening. You're in the pockets of them already. There's nothing else you can do. There's no going back. You got to pay your debt or be out. All right, guys. Enough talking. We got us a little show in today. Wasn't so great. I'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. with Stinks. So 8 p.m. Pacific time. Adjust to your time zones. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Friday. If you're not going to join us, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. But if you do join us tonight at 8, come hang out if you can. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you for the likes, the love, the donos. Thank you for the thumbs ups. They work and they are free. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. See you soon. Bye.
This party is officially over.
Yeah, you guys. I'm going home.